Dr. C.V. Anandabose, IAS, the principal advisor to the Government of India, a daring officer who refused to buckle under any corrupt system and had successfully launched a crusade against its shady practices. He was marginalized many times but excelled in every assignment through commitment and dedication. Dr. Anandabose is currently advisor to the Government of Meghalaya. Civil servant, housing expert, writer and orator, he has held the rank of Secretary to Government of India, Chief Secretary and University Vice Chancellor. He is the chairman of the Habitat Alliance in consultative status with the UN and was a member of the UN Habitat Governing Council. Bose has worked as District Collector and Principal Secretary and Additional Chief Secretary in various ministries such as Education, Forest and Environment, Labour and General Administration. He has represented India in the European Council for Nuclear Research, Geneva, and the International Fusion Energy Organization, ITER, France. He was chairman of the Atomic Energy Education Society. The United Nations has selected his initiatives as Global Best Practice 4 times. The Government of India awarded him the National Habitat Award. Now we are going to hear the words of Dr. C.V. Anandabose about the farmers' riot held in New Delhi on Republic Day.
India is under attack. Wolves in the sheep's cloth masqueraded on the streets of Delhi as farmers and were on a prowl against India. Yes, India is under attack. India is under attack by the enemies who are within this country. India is under attack by the enemies and frenemies of this country who plot against it from abroad. India is under attack by the Break India Brigade, which consists of scheming foreign nations, the illegitimate flow of money into India, the jihadis, the ultra-left, and of course, those who try to turn India into a destabilized country. The cat is out of the bag, not one cat, but many cats. The nation has realized full well that the sanctity of the Republic Day has been marred by those who had plotted against this country. This sovereign republic considers 26 January as a symbol of the nation's pride and glory. By choosing the same day to tarnish the reputation, peace and harmony of this nation, it shows the villainy which guides the wile and guile of those perpetrators of crime against India. Now, those who failed in their attempt before the determination of the people of India, as reflected in the stoic dignity demonstrated by the police, should think twice. The nation now realizes who the thief and who the cop is. The political parties which supported this agitation and encouraged violence from behind have been caught and exposed. Now they are running helter-skelter to disown their association with the chaos and pell-mell which Delhi witnessed on the Republic Day. Who are the villains behind the riots engineered and orchestrated in Delhi? The major political parties who proposed the agrarian bill when they were in power and oppose it when the bill is passed as an act. They are all responsible for this confusion. You can fool some people for all times and all people for some times, but not all people for all times. The commands of the conspirators to their die-hard foot soldiers are all there in the public domain now in the social media. The demonstrators were asked to bring lathis along with flags. There is also the oral evidence of the leaders of the agitation exhorting their followers to break the agreement with the police and rush off to India Gate so that the tractor rally merges with the Republic Day parade. There are also instances of leaders exhorting their followers to violence. We also have the offer of $2.5 lakhs if anyone can host the Khalistan flag on India Gate. This is what happened, not in India Gate, but in the report. Where are the interests of the farmers, which is reflected in the Khalistan flag? Khalistan is a result of certain dark forces which wanted to divide this country. India, along with the patriotic Sikhs of this country, crushed the Khalistan movement with determination. It led to the assassination of the former Prime Minister of India. In 1984, in its aftermath of this assassination, there was a carnage in the streets of Delhi. The Sikhs were butchered by the ruling party and their cohorts at that time. We are shocked. India is shocked. The world is shocked. The farmers of India are shocked that someone somewhere was weaving a plot to create bloodshed in the streets of Delhi on the lines of the 1984 massacre. There is no pardon for this. The perpetrators of this crime, in the Mahabharata we find that it is the wily Shakuni who was responsible for the great divide between the cousins, the Pandavas and the Kauravas, which ultimately ended in the Mahabharata war. What was Shakuni's intention? Shakuni had taken revenge, wanted to take revenge on the Kauravas and the Pandavas, because his sister Gandhari was forcibly taken away from her kingdom after imprisoning her father and 100 brothers. All of them died in jail. Shakuni was a lone survivor. He had a mission to avenge the crime. He knew very well that he cannot use physical force and achieve his end. Therefore, he cleverly divided the cousins, the Pandavas and the Kauravas. He played the game very well. Who is a Shakuni here now? People know who it is. But things have gone out of control for those who thought they can control the violence and disintegration of this great nation. Why these crocodile tears over the farmers? Do you know who kept this country above starvation during the pandemic? The farmer of India kept the country above starvation during COVID-19. India's granaries are overflowing with buffer stock. Do you know India is the largest producer of pulses, fruits and vegetables, cotton and milk in the world? India is the second largest producer of rice and wheat. When the farmers found that their surplus production does not bring adequate returns to them because of the exploitation of the middlemen in the APMC mandis, they rose to the occasion. The mandidars, in place of the earlier zamindars who are exploiting them, the new farm bills are an answer to that. It is the middlemen who created dissent against the agrarian legislation. It is their money power, their political power, which was behind this agitation. Once the agitation snowballed into a reasonable protest on the streets of Delhi, came in the Break India Brigade. Foreign money, jihadis, ultra-left, all forces of evil joined together. As Shakespeare would say, the hell is empty, all the devils are here. All the villains and traitors were on the streets of Delhi, disguised as farmers. There was the Ravan with the tractors in place of the Pushpak Vimana to abduct the daughter of the soil, Sita. Here the farmers. There was Putana pretending as a loving mother to suckle to death the unsuspecting child with her toxic milk. There were the sons of Iblis on the streets, as they say in Quran. Judas Iscariot from the Bible came to Delhi to betray his master for 30 sovereigns. India saw the Break India team at its worst when the nation was celebrating its Republic Day. But those who thought they can break this country are sadly mistaken. They have been exposed. The people of India now know that the emperor is naked, who paraded himself as a leader of the farmers' agitation. It is not the interest of the farmers which has sought to be protected through these violent protests. It is a vested interest of certain anti-India forces who wanted to project this graceful face of Indian farmers for their vested interests. That has been exposed in this country. Never ever think India can be fooled. Never ever think the farmer can be fooled. Do you know, there was a corporate in the world which even had an army. Who made the corporate back off from this country? The farmer. It is not time to forget the corporate English East India Company. Who kicked them out of this country? The Indian farmer under the great leader Mahatma Gandhi. The freedom fighters mostly were farmers. Now you are challenging the Indian farmer on the sly. The farmer knows best what is good for him. He will never allow the streets of Delhi to be a place of bloodbath as the perpetrators of the crime did in 1984 against our Sikh brothers. How came that the protest is only confined to the streets of Delhi where there is no agriculture? The farmer is there all over India, and the farmer had committed suicide in thousands under the inane and anti-farmer dispensations which ruled the country for years together. Now he realizes that the present agrarian legislation is going to be the Magna Carta of his freedom from exploitation of the middlemen. The farmer has seen through the game. The Indian farmer cannot be used as a facade for the destabilization of this great democracy. The traitors were exposed. The leaders have disowned the gang of goons who appeared as agitating farmers. 2 farmer organizations have withdrawn from the protest. The parliament march has been called off. The world now knows what is what. This is $1 million question. Was it all for the farmers that the flag of Khalistan was hosted on the flag mast of Red Fort? One feels pity for the degeneration of the Indian press. At least some of them. They saw the truth, they know the truth, but they are tom-toeing untruth. For them, the traitors are patriots. The rioters are peace-loving farmers. They forget what the doyen of journalism, Joseph Pulitzer, once said: our republic and its press will rise or fall together. Do not forget, if there is no Indian republic, there is no Indian press. You cannot draw without a wall. In Greek mythology, there is a monster called Medusa. Many young heroes encountered her, but they are all vanquished. Then came the young hero Perseus. He just held a mirror in front of Medusa. Seeing the image of her horrible face in the mirror, the monster Medusa dies of fright. If anyone holds a mirror before the Indian media, they will meet with the plight of Medusa. What is the way out? Protest is an integral part of democracy. It shows the strength of democracy, but certainly not violence. As the chief economist of the IMF, India-born Geeta Gopinath has pointed out recently, the new farm laws have the potential to raise farm income. There are 2 types of people in democracy: those who find solutions to problems and those who find problems in solutions. Democracy cannot be thrown at the mercy of the problem seekers. India cannot and will not allow its democracy to degenerate into mobocracy. On the Republic Day, India honored our soldiers, the Jawans. India honors, India respects, India loves the farmers, the Kisan. Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan, Bharat Mata ki Jai, Vande Mataram.